Well, folks, it all boils down to this. We knew this was an inevitability, based off of the updates that we had heard over the past 24 hours, but we now have it posted about online, which makes it easier for us to screenshot it and put it up on the screen here. Let's talk about the Vancouver Canucks, and let's talk about Artie Party, Arturs Silovs. Because this post was made yesterday by NHL Rumor Report, it got a lot of attention, and a lot of Canucks fans responded to it. Darren Dreger said on TSN 1050 that when it comes to Vancouver Canucks goalie Arturs Silovs, it makes a lot of sense that he could be in play. Now, why is that? Well, it's because Thatcher Demko is apparently getting a lot closer to being signed now compared to a few weeks ago. And with all the extra reports on Demko's status in the Vancouver organization, how contract talks have indeed started up here, oh, there's a dog outside. I don't know if you can hear that, but there is somebody literally yapping and yapping outside my apartment window. I apologize if you can hear. Oh boy, that's pretty loud. But Demko is in a spot where it seems like there's a pathway to an extension by the end of the week. It's not done, but there is a pathway. This was posted about by Rick Dhaliwal last night as well, and further to that point, you have David Pagnotta tweeting about this morning. Contract talks continue between Vancouver and Thatcher Demko on an extension today. It still seems early to predict what direction it goes, and there remains outside interest. If they can't get a deal, they'll further explore the market, but if they can, Arturs Silovs may get moved. Now that's a big if, right? But this is where we dive into some of the other conversations. I mean, the fact that Demko and Vancouver have indeed started to communicate more, and now that there does seem to be a pathway for Vancouver to keep this guy, it does open the door for a Silovs trade. This was expanded upon even more by Rick Dhaliwal on today's Donnie and Dolly segment. Big shout out over to Canucks News Summaries again for the summary on this entire thing here. There's a lot going on over here. They talk about Besser, Suter, Demko of course, and then the Canucks goaltending depth. Let's talk about the last few points over here. When it comes to Thatcher Demko, the Vancouver Canucks touched base 3 to 4 weeks ago, and communication really heated up this week. If talks stay positive, there is a pathway to re-sign him by the end of the week. Dhaliwal says here that the end of the week would be Sunday. Demko is 100% healthy and he is on the ice, and teams will start to invest more in goaltending as the cap rises. So if Demko goes out there and gets an extension that's not too expensive, maybe not in the $10 million Carey Price, Sergei Bobrovsky territory, but let's say, for example, $7 million, $7.5. Demko was a Vezina finalist a year ago, after all. He has had injury worries that have pulled his value down, but for the most part, he is still a very good goaltender. This is, I think, the biggest conundrum with Demko as an asset, whether or not he could be healthy to provide Vezina caliber goaltending for an entire year. We just don't know. We have to wait and see if he can stay 100% healthy for a 45 to 50 game NHL season. Now, let's dive into some of the other Canucks goaltending depth notes. Dhaliwal says that the Canucks are high on Ty Young. They want him in the AHL next season. They'll also qualify Nikita Tolopilo. As such, goaltending is a massive strength for the Vancouver Canucks as an organization. Dhaliwal also classifies Arturs Silovs as stuck. The Canucks control his future, but he is eligible for waivers. This is why Darren Dreger spoke out on the radio talking about how Silovs could be in play now. If the Canucks bring back Demko and Lankinen, do they want to go with a triple goalie rotation? And do they want to put a guy in a potential spot to get claimed on waivers for free? Hey, guess what? Columbus just traded away Daniil Tarasov. They could be interested in a guy like Arturs Silovs. We definitely know about the Latvian connection that team has had over the past few years. Arturs Silovs could be the next one. And that's just one team. There are probably a whole bunch of other teams that are thinking about upgrading in their backup position. And as Dhaliwal said over the past few weeks, the fact that Arturs Silovs put the Abbotsford Canucks on his back, unadulterated, he just carried the entire squad, he forced them into the finals, and he forced them into championship status. The fact that Silovs did all of that is going to boost up his value, and other NHL teams will pay attention to that. Jacob Markstrom did the exact same thing 10 years ago, and he happens to also be 10 years older than Arturs Silovs as well. Markstrom did all that at the same age, ended up losing in the Calder Cup Finals, unfortunately, but then he became a stud. Is Arturs Silovs on path to becoming the exact same situation? Is he in that same territory of goaltender? I don't know. I mean, it was a 6th-round pick after all. Usually, guys taken in that range don't become anything at the NHL level. And Silovs is already coming off of a really good playoff run last year in Vancouver, and an even more solid playoff run in Abbotsford the year after. I get it, you don't want to see a guy go from NHL to AHL, but considering the circumstances and the fact that he was the backup in Vancouver last year behind Smith and Demko, he definitely took that opportunity and ran with it. And with that clutch factor in his bones, the shutout against Nashville, the Latvian medal at the World Championships, the AHL Calder Cup Final Championship too, this is a guy who really steps up to play in the big moments. Look at me gassing up Arturs Silovs and just kind of verbally explaining why it would be a mistake to trade this guy. But then again, the Canucks might have no choice. Demko, Lankin, and Silovs. We've seen what a triple goalie rotation looks like in the NHL. It's not pretty. From the Jake Allens and the Montembeaus, the Cayden Primos, to the Cam Talbots, Alex Lyons, and the Peter Mrazeks, this rotation doesn't usually end well. And for Vancouver, they didn't have this problem when Thatcher Demko was healthy. It's only because he was hurt, and because Arturs Silovs was total crap last year, this previous season in the NHL, that we saw that sort of development go down. Tolopilo got some games, Kevin Lankinen was overplayed, etc., was all over the place. But now, heading into 2026, this is where the Vancouver Canucks might have to make some decisions, and I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Yes, it would absolutely suck to lose out on Arturs Silovs after the development he has gone through and the progression he has made. But the Vancouver Canucks might not have a choice here. It's either they trade him, or they lose him for free on waivers, or they go on a triple goalie rotation, which historically doesn't seem to work ever. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this Arturs Silovs trade update. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.